episode of Life Needs Your Permission Summer School Series. I am your host, Nerissa Street. Today's episode is Healing Needs Your Permission. So let's define healing so we're all on the same page. Healing means the restoration to sound health. That could be mental, physical, emotional, social, but it's the restoration to health. It's from a Germanic word that is similar to the origin of the word whole. Healing restores you to wholeness. What's really interesting about that is that the American Psychology Association goes even further in saying that mental healing is the process of alleviating mental or physical illness through the power of the mind. Typically, using such methods as visualization, suggestion, the conscious manipulation of energy flow, there are whole modalities meant to address physical ailments with mental and emotional techniques. And this is because it's been proven that a blockage in the mind has what is called a psychosomatic effect on the body. Any stimulus that's interpreted as stressful by your mind activates your limbic system, which negatively affects your body, not only in the short term, because you get tense, but in the long term, because that tenseness locks trauma in the body and turns into disease. How your mind interprets your experience affects your body. How have you been interpreting your experiences? What do you do when you feel challenged? Check in. Healing is a restoration to wholeness. So, if you want healing, it's going to change what exists right now into something different. You need to give permission for yourself to change at depth. And change sometimes shows up as a challenge. This can be interesting if you've been identifying yourself with the injury that you've experienced. How have you been identifying yourself with the injury that you've experienced? If you've been doing that, healing means you have to change your identity. That's a challenge. And not a challenge that everyone's up for. That's okay. But for those of you that are, here's your practice. I want you to look at something that has pained you or has hurt you, and that you're still being affected by. A soured relationship, a bad financial decision, a physical ailment. Ask yourself this question. If this was healed, what would I do differently? Who might I be differently? More likely than not, the healing of that thing would change your behavior. So your practice is to do that behavior anyway. If you've never had that sour relationship, you would think your heart would be a little bit more open. Look for ways to open your heart. Look for ways that are new to use your money. You had a bad financial decision. It doesn't mean you need to close yourself completely off, but look for new ways to use your money. Or if you have a physical ailment, look for new ways to be more active. Look for ways to reconnect with your body. Look for ways to care for your body again. Wholeness is a sense of completeness, a sense that what you have is enough. Healing is the restoration of your identity as being enough. You've got to allow yourself to see that. You've got to give yourself permission to see yourself as enough and act on that understanding. That's it. Please make sure you subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. As always, it is my honor to be your teacher.